Inland Sports.
All right, here we go on the Inland Sports Show as we crack open the 2023 high school football season. Week 0, we got a bunch of games on Thursday, some big ones on Friday as well, including Chaparral taking on San Clemente in Week 0 action to kick everything off. Join us here on the Inland Sports Show. We got Jacob Alvarez, Beierly in the middle, and Coach Andrew Raymer on the end. Pumas, welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing?
Good, Pep. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great now that football's here. I'm fired up for this season, and I'm fired up what you guys are going to do this year. Coach, I mean, you guys, I don't know if you surprised people. Maybe you guys aren't surprised, but I think you really turned some heads last year in that new formed Big West Conference. Everyone was excited. So many great teams, so many great coaches, and you guys ended up taking second place in the Big West Upper. Based on last year's success, Coach, I mean, Is that something to build upon this year, or do you try not to stress too much about what last year's team did? How do you go into this season?
We're focusing a little bit on last year. We had two tails of our season. We started off a little slow and then came in hot during league and the playoffs. So there's definitely talk, some learning aspects of last season for these guys. A lot of guys are going on their second or third year starting. So there's a lot of talk about last year and how we can build on that and make sure that we start hot like we did in league and not start like we did last season. So, yeah, there's definitely some talk of last season.
Speaking of just starting hot, man, your first 3 games right out of the gate, big ones against really quality opponents, San Clemente, Apple Valley, and, of course, San Jacinto. You guys and the Tigers had a great game last year that went down to the finish. In those first 3 games of the season, Coach, do you feel like you're gonna learn a lot about this team?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you're going to learn a lot about, game 1 and game 2. The biggest improvements we're going to see, 2 great opponents, highly ranked teams in the state. Just like you mentioned, San Jacinto, we knocked them off last year, but, they went on to that state run, CIF title. Coach G does a great job. And then we got the 2 city games right after that. So we don't have a week that we can take a step back. We have to keep stepping forwards and continue to show what we can do.
Since you touched on it, I'll go there real quick. Great Oak and Temecula Valley, not technically league games, but old rivals, city championship on the line. That's important to you guys, right?
100%. It's one of our goals every single year is to make sure that we continue to add to that city championships that we have and walk around the town as champions. It's a big thing in the city of Temecula for sure.
All right, Coach, let me go to your guys right now. Beierly's in the middle, quarterback. We saw him last year get some time as well, leading that Puma offense. And Dash, as you come in as QB1, right, getting all those snaps, are you excited to have guys like Jacob Alvarez and some other weapons on offense that you guys can capitalize on some of the success that you had last year and continue that this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Jacob's a good player. I'm not going to get too much into that, but he's a great player. And we do have some young receivers that are starting to learn the offense and get the chemistry going, which that's great. Linemen, great. We have a lot of returners on the line. Running backs, we look great. As full offense, I think will be very good this year.
Now, Dash, when I think of, Chaparral football, of course, you got to think about the offensive line. Coach Raymer cranks out O-line guys in his sleep. How much easier does it make your life back there in the pocket knowing you got some studs in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of pressure off my shoulders, knowing I can drop back and, be able to see the whole field without worrying about any pressure. That's always that's a quarterback's dream. So,
well, if I can put you on the spot, can you name your offensive lineman in front of you and give him a quick shout out?
Oh yeah, so I'll start from right tackle to left tackle. So right tackle we have Peyton Schaff. Right guard we have Liam Porter. Center we have Cole Fuller. Left guard we have Joey Ibarra. And then left tackle, we have Jake Williams. He goes both ways, offense, defense.
So, Dash, you have to take care of those guys. I mean, you got to be nice to them at school. I don't know if you buying some donuts on Friday mornings or whatever you.
Give them donuts after game days. All that.
All right, Dash. Let me go to your guy next to you, Jacob Alvarez, a big stud tight end for Chaparral, and Jacob. Last year I was talking to Coach. You guys really burst onto the scene. I don't know if you guys were surprised, but maybe outside of that Chaparral bubble, people were like, "Oh my gosh, man, the Pumas are legit." They, like Coach said, slow start, but really came on strong and beat some really good teams in Big West Upper League play. the expectations for this year based on that success? Do you guys feel like that standard has been raised and you guys have big goals for this season in 2023?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think our season this year, like, we have to keep building on what we did last year. And Coach Raymer let us know, like, we needed to, like, bring everything up in order to compete.
And Jacob, again, last year's success was last year's team. This is kind of like a blank canvas now. You guys go into the season. You got a huge game right out of the gate against San Clemente. What do you think you guys have to do offensively or just as a team to, get a W on Friday night?
I just think we need to, like, make big plays down the field, and we need to be strong, like, physical, and just fast.
Jacob, you guys scrimmaged Cajon last week, and the Cowboys are traditionally a really good team in our area. What did you guys do well in that scrimmage?
I think we ran the ball pretty good, and then we were like just quick releases, quick throws.
Coach, let me ask you the same thing, Coach. In that scrimmage, going up against Cajon, obviously, I'm sure that was by design to see another really good team. Got speed across the board at Cajon. Like, what did you guys do well against Cajon that gets you excited about the San Clemente game?
Yeah, that was the whole goal this offseason. We did a lot of big passing tournaments and lineman competitions to get our guys around these top programs in the state of California. Same thing with Cajon, looking for a scrimmage. We were really looking for a quality opponent that was going to test us and get us ready for this season. I thought our offense was really balanced. We had some big runs. We had a couple big passes. We had a running clock, and it was a scrimmage format. So, kind of the fluidity of the whole scrimmage was okay, right? I thought our defense played really well. The defense was flying around, making some open field tackles, especially against, Cajon's speed and athletes that they have. I thought our defense stepped up, and they're going to have to step up. And it's going to be a full team effort of defense, offense, and special teams, especially, every single game. We're going to be challenged every single game, from those first three that you're talking about to the city games right into the Big West Upper. We're going to have to play all three aspects of football really well. We're going to get everyone's best shot, especially after last year's success. And we're going to have to make sure that we give them our best shot.
All right, let me go back to Dash in the middle here. Dash, I'm assuming Dash is not your real name, right? Where did this come from?
So when I was about 4, that's when I first started playing football. And I was playing flag football, TVPW, just Pop Warner, little stuff. And when I grew up, I was one of the fastest kids always on my team. And all my friends were always like, because my name's Ashton, so then they would call me Ash. And that kind of put the D as Dash. Dash from Incredibles. That's just a thing that was going on at the time. So, yeah, then that's just stuck with me ever since.
I thought there was an Incredibles connection. I didn't want to bring it up. I wanted you to say it, but I thought there might have been one there. Yeah. Jacob, I got to ask you, do you have a nickname? Or you need a nickname if you don't?
I mean, people, like, on the football team, they call me Big Al. Just because, like, I'm a big kid, and my last name's Alvarez, so they just Big Al.
Why not Mr. Incredible, man? You can do everything on the football field, right? We'll just call you Mr. Incredible from now on.
Oh, yeah. Jacob's going to be playing some tight end, some outside receiver for us, some linebacker. You're going to see him in the backfield taking a handoff. We're going to put the ball in Jacob's hands definitely this season.
Wait, hold on, Coach. Are you going fullback? Are you going old school on us? Old school football?
No, we're going regular offense. We saw Brock Bowers at Georgia taking handoffs in the spring. So we talk about with our kids who they idolize and who they like to watch. And, that conversation got brought up that Brock Bowers was playing a little tailback and spring ball. And Jacob said, I can do that. So you're going to see a little bit, some wrinkles here and there.
That's awesome. That's a great guy to be compared to. In fact, I think I just saw something on social media. He was ranked like the #1 college football player going into this season. So Big Al, how's that comparison? That must be feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's just like unreal. Like, you never expect to be compared to like one of the greats.
Is that exciting though? That Coach, obviously in your team, they value you so much. Like, how do we find a way to get this guy more involved? Like, let's get the ball in his hands, or play on both sides of the football. Where just find a place for this guy to make plays.
Yeah, I just want to make an impact. Just whatever I can do to help the team win.
All right, finally, guys, and I'll start with you, Coach. I mean, what do you just think are the keys to victory all season long? What are the Pumas going to be all about? What do you guys need to do to have success this year and put you in a spot to win a city title, be in the hunt for a league title, make a deep run in CIF? What do you think are the keys all season long?
I mean, ultimately in the game of football, you got to stay healthy, right? Every coach is wanting to stay healthy throughout the season, but we're going to build on the things that we made changes after last season's slow start. So we focus on the small things. We kept saying if we focus on the small things on the day-to-day basis, the big picture is going to take care of itself. So it's going to be a lot of behind-the-scenes work that we're going to focus on, and the Friday night is going to be the time where all those pieces of the puzzle come together.
And how about you, Dash? What do you think you guys need to do all season long?
I'm going to go on offense. Actually, no. I'll go a whole team standard. I'm thinking all we need is I think consistency is a big one. Being consistent with, offense, like every drive, having a game plan, having like getting to that end zone. That's our goal. Hopefully, if we can stay consistent with that, I think we'll be unstoppable.
All right, and finally, Big Al, aka Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, touching on what Dash said, like also consistency, and we just need to be like physical, just hard, fast every play.
Awesome, guys. Well, listen, I really appreciate the time. Coach Raymer, thank you so much. You always make time for me. I really appreciate it. I'm just a big high school football fan, so I always appreciate you being so generous with your time. Guys, best of luck against San Clemente coming up on Friday night, week 0 action. Pumas trying to open up the season with a win. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Pep.
Of course.
Inland Sports.